Hello friends, welcome back to the bench. Thank you very much for joining me. Our patient is an ROG Strix, the Supreme FX. It's with the socket 4094, huge CPU. Now this board has been on our bench before. This is the donor board that we used to transplant a resistor and a capacitor from this board to the other board. Now we're just gonna solder on that missing resistor and missing capacitor on this board. I don't know why, but I guess the customer just figured that we can fix this one, because why not? Definitely. So this is relatively easy. However, as you can see, these are pretty tiny components, and we need a lot of light because this microscope is very insensitive. Sensitivity is like absolutely ridiculous on it. Now you can counter that by moving the scope a little closer. Actually, let's do that. But then you have much higher zoom. So perhaps that's not what you need. Okay, now to not melt it, I prepared a little cup over here, and we're gonna put a little protection on the memory as well over here, because first I want to blow it with some hot air to prep the board, to basically heat up the board. And the temperature, I'm just gonna use 220 degrees, so that's not even enough to melt the plastic on it. But it's going to be a lot easier when you have when the board is preheated. Now let's see, I think I want to use 245. Let's see, yeah, I can fit it here. We'll see. I probably should change the tip to 210, much smaller one, but first let's try to do it with 245. Now the component in question is a resistor. Now with tiny components like that, make sure your tweezers are really clean, because if there's any flux residue, especially RMA flux, the one that I sell, is going to be sticky. And if your tweezers are sticky, there's no way you can manipulate tiny resistor like this. I'll show you how small it is in a second. But you can already see the distance between those two pads, right? It's absolutely tiny, the tiniest little thing. And my tweezers are bent a little. I don't know when that happened. They are all over the place. That's too bad. New tweezers, I guess. I have another ceramic tweezers that we can use. But first, let's see if we can use these, because these are my favorite ones, but from time to time you have to get new ones, because even if you treat them right, over time they are exposed to higher temperatures, right? When you operate with them with hot air, from time to time they'll drop on the floor, or you just hold them a little bit too aggressively, too hard, and they can bend. At this level of magnification, the tiniest deformation of the tweezers is gonna render them useless. Okay, so first let's do a little preheating. Okay, the board is nice and hot now. Well, hot to the touch, it's not very hot. Now what I want to do, to make it easier, first I'm gonna clean the pads from any existing solder. There's 370 on the soldering iron, might not be enough, we'll see. And this is definitely not a tip you want to use for desoldering or wicking, but it should be enough. There's not a lot of solder on it, and the board is preheated. There, so the pads are clean now. Now I'm going to put a little bit of solder on one of the pads, and my plan is to just catch it on one side And once I catch it on one side, I should be able to align it and then catch it on the other side. Okay, that didn't work because I put solder on the other pad as well, which I didn't want to do. So this will be easier to clean now because we have let it solder. But I probably should change to 210, but instead I'm gonna go up to 380, wick it again. Then after wicking, let's try this again. Let's heat up the board again. And another piece of foil will go over here because we don't want to melt the power connector, or at least not significantly. It can be slightly melted, it's not gonna kill anything, but if you melt it too much, then you won't be able to plug in the power. That would render the board unusable. So now let's try this. Let's see if we can operate with the tip alone. Oh, that's too much solder. I can remove it there. Okay. 380 usually doesn't catch, but this is not a bad tip. Okay. So now the trick is, with your left hand, put the resistor on, and with your right hand, solder it on. I can't really convey how small this is on the video, right? So you just have to take my word for it that it is extremely small and not as easy as it might look. Now even if I clean the tweezers, they're still gonna stick because now we have flux everywhere. But as long as I manage to catch it on one side, it should be fine. But now the question is, can I do it with my left hand? I had 2 coffees, so we're gonna see some shakiness there. And we got it on one side. It's not perfectly aligned, but you know, don't try to chase perfection too much, because you might find it counterproductive. The idea is that the 2 terminals need to be connected. It doesn't have to be super straight, as long as we have the connection. Okay, a little more, because the terminal needs to heat up. I think I got it. Yep, it's good. Okay, as you can see, not aligned, but it is soldered on. Now this is not a power component. In the power component, sometimes it matters because it needs to sit center on the pads, because a lot of current goes through it. But this is signal, so you know, there are milliamps at most that flow through it, so it doesn't have to be super aligned. So this is fine as long as it doesn't touch any other components around it or anything like that. It should be fine. Yeah, it looks good. Okay, now a little bit of cleaning. Now we can scrape it a little harder, as I'm doing now, just to make sure that it's not going to fly off. Because sometimes it looks like it's soldered on, but it's actually just holding on the flux alone, or just barely, you know, it's barely soldered on. Which means if you just push on it, it'll just fly off. However, if you push too hard, it'll fly off along with the pad. So you don't want to go too hard on it. Remember that this is really, really tiny. Now, to give you an idea how tiny it is, a dime is usually a good reference, but I'm not sure if that gives it justice. No, it's not a quarter, it's a dime. So you see, this is really tiny. So with components like this cap, right, it's also challenging, but a lot easier. But tiny components like these, they're really difficult. To use hot air, it's extremely difficult, and even, you know, even just to hold them in place, because you grab tweezers, you grab the component, and now you have to move your hand while putting constant pressure, but the same pressure on the tweezers. And as you do so, you know, we're only human, so you know, you go a little harder, a little thin, and a little lighter, and the component might just flick and just be gone, right? And there's no way, if you lose this component, there's no way you're gonna find it in your shop. I mean, if you're super lucky, maybe that will happen, but if it just flaked and it flew off, just let it be. Don't look for it, because it's not worth it. Okay, so this is one. Now the second component is gonna be a little tricky as well, but at least a little bigger over here. So first, again, let's heat it up. I keep it at 220 for about a minute. It kind of depends on the thickness of the board and the size of the board and the size of the component you're soldering on. But just to make the board a little bit warmer, because if the board is room temperature, then as soon as you touch that pad, that temperature immediately spreads across the board. So it kind of works like it's working against you. It feels like it's working against you. You're trying to heat up whatever you're soldering, and the board is taking that heat and spreading it around. Now let's see. It's really difficult to maneuver here like this, and let's see if we can get some of this solder off. Okay, that went well, but that's because of the preheating, right? It was just quick motion, and the solder is gone. If it wasn't for the preheating, this would have been, well, this would have taken a long time. As soon as you press on it, you gotta keep it for a while. Alrighty, so now let's put a little bit of solder. I'm not sure how to do it. I don't know, I'll try to put a little bit of solder here, like so, there. Okay, but I'll spread it nicely, and maybe a little more. Okay, and now the question is, can I actually maneuver over here without making more damage than we already did with hot air over here? But that was the previous removal, right? We didn't care much about that because this was the donor board. Now it's our repair board. I gotta clean my jig. Okay, I'll do that in a minute. So first, let's get the cup and put it here. Oh, it should be good. So you see this cup is a little smaller. It's the same capacitance, it's just a little smaller. So that should allow me to actually solder it down. So if it was the original size, I would have no room to maneuver here. I would have to do it with hot air, but I don't want to do it with hot air because I would melt too much stuff on it. I'm not sure how to hold it. Maybe I'll try holding it like this, which works against me because when you hold it like this, you're taking some of that temperature away, because tweezers start working like a heatsink. Let's try a little more solder here. Maybe that'll make it easier. This would be easier with hot air, but if you don't want to melt stuff. Okay, now we can't really see that side because of the lighting. The sensitivity of the scope really is killing me, but what are you gonna do? You want 10-inch scope, you have to deal with this. No way around it. But we have a big blob on the other side, and now we just have to make the same blob on this side, and we're done. So let's see, maybe if I position it like this. Remember, you want to heat the pad, because that's what needs to be hot, right? And you just touch the pad and let the solder flow. And there, it's a big blob, but that ensures that the cup is gonna stay in place. Now let's try to tap on it. Alright, it's holding. Even put a little bit of pressure, right? Not too much, just to make sure. And now let's clean it, and we're done. This is relatively quick repair, but I can imagine spending hours or even days on this simple repair years ago when I didn't have proper soldering skills. It takes time. It takes time and practice to be able to do stuff like that. Even though it's pretty basic, right? We're not doing any complex electronics over here, complex diagnoses or anything like that, right? You just have two components that I already pre-selected, I already prepped, measured and everything, and all we have to do is just put them on. It's a lot harder than it looks. Definitely try it if you have not. And sometimes it's just, you know, it's not your forte. Basically, you know, your hands are too shaky. Although I've seen, you know, the best example, Louis Rossmann, you know, he always had shaky hands, and he managed to solder everything in place. If you learn how to work with your shaky hand, you'll be able to do it. But sometimes, you know, that's a big limitation, because your hand is too shaky and there's no way you can do that. Well, then I guess you have to find another profession. Also, you know, for repairs like these, it's advised not to drink too much coffee in the morning or before the repair, you know. I know it does affect me. My hands become shaky when I drink too much coffee, especially if I like drink 2 or 3 cups of coffee in the morning and I didn't eat breakfast. That's when it's the worst. But sometimes, you know, it's not always. Sometimes I'll drink plenty of coffee and I don't have shaky hands. I'm not sure what that depends on, but it's inconsistent in my case. Okay, and there. I melted the socket a little bit, so I'm just cutting that excess plastic to ensure that the charger can be connected, or the power supply can be connected. Okay, I think that should do it. Let's see. That should be good, right? Because the melting was just kind of covering a little bit of this pin over here. The outside doesn't really matter, but we can also trim that. But yeah, that doesn't really matter. As long as the hole is not covered, everything here is good. Okay, now it should be good. But let's get rid of this. And there. Yeah, it has been used for a long time, I guess. Meaning plugged and unplugged. So the plastic suffered a little bit, but it looks alright. It should be good. Alrighty, so this is it. Just these two components. That's what we were contracted to do. And with deformed tweezers, it's definitely more challenging than it should be. But I guess, well, we'll see. I should get some extra equipment, but I'm kind of not in the position to be investing in my shop at the moment, but we'll see. You know, things change all the time. Sometimes it's better, sometimes it's worse. It's life for you. Alrighty, we are done. It looks good, or it looks acceptable. Should be good. Alrighty, thank you guys very much for watching. I do appreciate you, and I hope you found this useful. If so, hit the like. Thank you very much, and I shall see you guys in the next one.